Hey guys, how you doing? Hopefully you're doing okay. Going to give you a very thorough overview of the article here. There's a link in the description. I will say that we're a little light on details, and I'm also going to mention there is a GoFundMe. Again, the link is in the description. It's an absolute tragedy. On Saturday, there was a shooting outside of a building in which a party was occurring, a birthday party, with hundreds of high school students in attendance. This happened in Atlanta. There was a shooting. We don't know why. There's some speculation that somebody was perhaps thrown out of the birthday party. Perhaps that person returned, perhaps with some accomplices. Perhaps multiple rounds were fired at nobody in particular, somewhat indiscriminately. And tragically, a 15-year-old girl, the young lady that we see in front of us, Laila Renee Harris, was struck by at least one of the bullets that were fired. And tragically, she succumbed to her injuries. She died. She was found dead at the scene 11 a.m. on Saturday. The time really confuses me, saddens me. This is something which seemingly happened in the daytime, happened in the morning. Not in the early hours of a night out, drinking alcohol or anything like that. No, this happened in the daylight, in the sober hours of the morning. 11 a.m., Laila Harris's body, 15 years of age, was found by police at the entrance of a building located in the 1000 block of Citizens Parkway and Jonesboro Road on Saturday at around 11 a.m. Police were responding to a call that they had received about a shooting. And that, unfortunately, is all the information that we have. There is no suspects. We're not told of any suspects. We're not told of any CCTV footage. Again, this happened seemingly in broad daylight, 11 a.m. Laila Harris's body was found. Police were responding to a call in regards to a shooting, so this must have happened minutes before 11 a.m. The only other information that we have within the article is speculation. So I can tell you what that speculation is, but it's very, very disappointing that we don't have anything more firm to go on. So the police speculate that the shooter may have been kicked out of the party before they returned with an accomplice and fired multiple rounds. Thankfully, there were no additional victims, but it's believed that the shooter, perhaps shooters, fired indiscriminately towards other attendees of this birthday party. Again, this was attended by hundreds of high school students. Again, this happened in Atlanta. It seems that the other people that were being shot at fled. They ran, they covered. And tragically, Laila Renee Harris was struck by at least one bullet. She was caught in the crossfire. We don't have any motive other than perhaps somebody got upset because they were thrown out of the party. They got that upset that they got a gun and started shooting up the place. So it's an absolute tragedy. There is a GoFundMe. The family are hoping to be able to transport Laila Renee Harris's body back to her hometown of St. Louis. It's a fairly modest goal, $10,000. They've got a little over halfway, a little bit more to go. If you're in a position to consider donation, perhaps this is something that you'd like to consider. There's a link in the description. It's an absolute tragedy, and full condolences to the family as well as to the other students. This is going to be shocking for all concerned. The families, the teachers. But I've got to ask a few questions. So number one, where is the CCTV footage? There has to be some. Come on, this is 2022. This is in perhaps a commercial area, a retail area perhaps. There's going to be CCTV footage. There's going to be dash cam footage. Why isn't the article telling us about that? Why isn't the article pointing towards some suspects? Why is the article telling us about what cops speculate? Cops speculate. Why isn't it telling us more concrete information? Why isn't it able to give us some photos of the shooters or the alleged shooters? It's not giving us any of that. It's very disappointing. So hopefully the investigation is going underway and is making progress. Perhaps the police, the authorities don't feel the need for too much community support. But you know what? That's not correct, because the police are asking families, are asking parents to keep an eye on their own children, to see if their children are up to no good, frankly, is what the police are asking families. They're asking families to be aware, asking parents to be aware of any of their teenage children that might be engaged in criminal activity, gang activity. This birthday party was for a 15-year-old, not the victim, but it was a 15-year birthday party. The other students, the other attendees were high school students at approximately the same age, 15. So, are the shooters, are they also aged around 15? If so, where did the gun come from? Where did the guns, plural, come from? So these are questions which need to be answered. Did they steal it from their parents? Did they steal it elsewhere? Did they go around breaking into cars? Are they active in gang activity? Are they gang members? Are they drug dealers? We don't know, but to me this is like really disappointing to have I'm going to say gang activity, even if it isn't. I'm going to consider it as such. So closely tied to high schoolers, you know. Even if it were the case that the shooter isn't a high schooler, even if they're elder, they don't go to this school or that school. I mean, they knew what they were doing. They were shooting at a birthday party for high schoolers. Why would they do that? I mean, to be honest, my feeling is that it is a high school student that was kicked out of the party for this reason, that reason. And their way of lashing out is to shoot multiple rounds and to tragically take someone's life. A completely innocent party at the beginning of her life taken away from her. Laila Harris taken away from her family. I'm going to wrap things up at this point, guys. Full condolences to the family, to other students that were at the party. This is going to be traumatic for all or most of them. Going to wrap things up. Take care.